the signal there, Rob.
You got the signal.
Oh, we got the signal now.
You're live.
So there are people that are tuning into this right now expecting a different bald guy. Not this bald guy, but we've got the thumbnail has Jason, the other bald guy here, and it's me this time. I'm sorry
You get this
about
as a radio
that.
show, right?
I got
There's no video.
yes.
Yeah, of course.
You don't see the
video.
cameras right there?
Okay.
What's in that?
You stop it.
I'd like to
I am John from KGTropicals. Very excited to be here with the man himself, Brett Raymer, and this guy too.
Oh,
what was your name again?
You stop
Little Joey? Or what is your name?
Oh, little Joey. Huh? Oh, my God.
Little Richard.
I'm Big Rich from Ohio Fish Rescue People.
Yes,
How
sir.
you doing?
Everybody,
the abuse I take.
everybody knows this guy. You don't have to see him for more than a second to know Big Rich from the Ohio Fish Rescue.
Everybody knows him because you can't miss him.
Well, that's true.
Kidding me?
I know.
He blocks the sun when he walks by. I just had his hair draped over my face
that was
a
the
little while
nicest
ago.
smelling event you've ever had.
It was glorious. It was a beautiful,
Brett,
beautiful.
you got to
head
see
of
that
hair.
picture. I
I
stood
like
behind
to
him,
see it.
and I whipped it over his head, and then they took a picture. He looks like an 80s wrestler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Jake the Snake?
Sort of.
It would look equally as good on you because you've got the same hairdo I do.
It would get. You know, it's funny. It's back in the day, bald used to be out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like it's the in thing now. So I'm like pretty proud of it. 20 years ago, I was like, oh man, I'm walking out. I'm like putting a hat
I'm losing my
on.
hair.
20 years ago, the only bald person anybody knew of was Telly Savalas.
Absolutely.
And now it's
And no one wanted to look like Telly
No.
Savalas.
And then the UFC came in play, right? And that's when
Right.
it all started. Everybody
Stone
became an
Cold.
MMA fighter. Then became
Goldberg, all of them, yeah.
then just the wrestling, right? It all
Yep.
became bald, and that was it. It was bald is beautiful,
Bald is beautiful.
and bald
So-
is back.
That's right.
We already have someone in chat saying hello there, studs.
Oh,
Hey, oh, hey.
Watch
How you
out.
doing? Wait,
Woohoo.
let me do my best, Joey. How you doing?
Joey Tribbiani, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to be sitting in between these two personalities. I don't plan on doing very much talking, probably because I just won't get the chance to. But what are we talking about today, boys? We going to wait for the chat to bring us stuff, or are we just going to? I'll tell you.
We can at least get started talking about how amazing the show is.
Yes.
I
We
like
could
that
talk
idea
about,
also.
I mean, like I said, I was at the last Aquashella show, and me and Big Rich had a little thing going on. And let me tell you something.
that
This
was a
is
sweet
like
thing.
3 times the size of the Chicago show, and the crowd is amazing, pretty impressive. They got some unbelievable booths here. So people that are actually in the Dallas, Houston area, tomorrow's another day. They should
Yep.
come down and check us out. All of us are going to be here. All the superstars are going to be here, signing autographs, taking pictures, answering questions, advice. How many people I've seen here that have come to me and like, oh my God, you're the reason why I got into
Started.
aquariums.
Yes. I hear
And that's
that
pretty
all
exciting
day.
for me because, when we first started this TV show, even though it was for entertainment value, it was for the value of trying to, YouTube wasn't tremendous like it is now,
Right.
I'm sure you guys had your channels for a minute, but think about 8 years ago where your channels were, right?
Yep.
It
What
was
channels?
probably, that's what I'm saying. So my point is that when we first created the show, we created it with to do this, right? To bring that vibe to the industry,
Dude,
make the
I
industry
watched
fun.
religiously,
Me
and
too.
I wanted tanks like that.
Yeah.
You
I mean-
guys were amazing.
It was the excitement value is what we wanted to do. We wanted to get people excited about,
And you did.
getting the hobby, making these cool things and then just spurring their interest. And then once we spurred the interest, we knew that things would start to spawn off where people would start creating their own companies, their own
Yes.
acrylic. And I saw one of the guys here, he's making acrylic frag things. He's like, oh my God, he saw me. He's like, I did this because I watched your show, saw what you guys did, and now I'm making acrylic, So all of that makes me feel amazing because of that's what I wanted to do,
Right. Well, you
My-
know what? I'm sorry, John.
No, you're fine.
There was one time that you guys made me so
You knew it, John.
sad. So sad. I mean, I was ready to cry. That was the day that show ended.
Yeah.
I loved that show.
I know I was crying too. You should have seen my paycheck go from where it was to nothing. Man, was I crying, bro. Let me tell you.
My first introduction to your show I was in disbelief because I've been keeping aquariums my whole life, but I was like, finally there's an aquarium show and the guy's bald. That's amazing.
Well, you know what's cool is one of the things that we caught a lot of flack for, was how do you guys set up the tanks, that quick and fill them with fish, right?
Right.
So I always tell people, come down to a convention and I'll show you how they do it about 500 times a day, right? Because where we're sitting, you guys, this place was empty 2 days ago,
Right.
and we got hundreds of aquariums with thousands of fish
Thousands of fish.
that are set up in one day. So I know things have progressed over time and they've gotten more advanced, but basically what you see here is how we did it.
Them people are so used to, you buy a new tank, you buy a new filter, and you set it up. Now you have to cycle it. They're not used to used bio balls, the bio media, and all that to get it set up and have this ready and running. And then there'll be a mini cycle, which is way less harmful for fish, and it will, support them at this point. Maybe die off some, maybe build some. Who knows at that point, depending on how many fish you put into how many bio balls.
Absolutely.
Well, and let's face it, nobody wants to watch a TV show where the end is this big reveal of a beautiful aquarium with no fish in it.
Of course.
Come on.
Of course.
So,
Right.
It got really interesting. The in the beginning there was a lot of flack, caught for doing this, and this, but no one understands the behind the scenes dynamics. They don't see how much they come to the show, but they don't realize that people were here 48 hours almost straight
Earlier,
working, humping their butts off, just like we were doing. We had an entire staff, an entire crew. We had marine biologists on staff, and we had the people that were going to do it right. Once the tanks were set up, they were broken down usually afterwards, and we put the people that had knowledge in charge afterwards to take care of the aquarium. So at the end of the day, people want to know how it's done. I always tell them, go down to a fish convention. You'll see it done, 500 times. But this place is pretty awesome, and there's definitely some amazing stuff here. So like I said, once again, if you're in that Dallas area, anywhere, Houston, where they're here till tomorrow, goes till late tonight. Make sure you come down and check this out for sure.
absolutely.
So, Rich, I know you got a lot of things going on, man. I know I heard a little story about some stingrays.
Oh, yes. Well, if anybody's into stingrays at all, they've all heard of Stingray Biology. It's a big company over in California, and they are now moving their shop from California to New York, Long Island, actually. And they have a big problem. They have to leave New York because the permits expired and they wouldn't, renew them. So that's the reason they have to move. They didn't want to move, but that's their business.
So they're moving from Cali to New York.
To New York,
To
right?
New York.
And now, in this point, they had to buy a new building. They got I think it was 60,000 square foot building, big building.
Right.
So they're going to take over. But in the meantime, they needed a place to store all their stock, and who has a facility for that? So they contacted me, and we took in. Oh, John,
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I'd find a way.
I used to have a facility like that.
I
Well,
would find a way.
They got a hold of me and asked if we could help them, and I was like, absolutely. So now our 58,000 gallon pool pond that Greg Whitstock and Aquascape turned into a predator pond, a ecoscape system, is now housing like 40-some 30 inches rays.
Wow, that's
They're
nice.
huge. And he offered, if any of the rays have babies, you guys can keep them. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not looking to charge you.
Right.
And he goes, no, keep them. So, he's giving us the babies, and that'll cover the cost of food and all that, this and that. So, we're doing a good thing for them. And then same thing with Rodrigo from Predatory Fins. He's going in halves with this building in Long Island, and both of them are moving into this one shop.
Wow.
Now, we're talking two big importers, two people that handle stingray biology is all huge stingrays. They got great stock. Rodrigo gives all kinds of rare and exotic fish. They're going into business together in one building in Long Island.
Nice.
I mean, if I can't be part of that, who am I? I'm not Ohio Fish Rescue.
That's some good stuff right there.
So yeah, we get to help out, and it makes everybody's loving it. There's like a 4-part series so far. Every single day we're putting out a video of the new rays that we're bringing in, and the first shipment was scary. 2 rays showed up dead.
Wow.
And then as I'm taking the boxes out, I saw one of the mouths move. I'm like, oh my God, it's not dead. We ran them in, and instead of acclimating, we optioned to plop and drop
Right in, right?
right into my good water from their bad water, and they recovered
Instantly.
Oh my God, they're
awesome.
still alive now. They're doing great. Those 2 fish were going to die within the next 5 minutes. It was bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had many shipments like that, where you think they're like on their last leg and they go from one water to the next. The next thing you know is bam, they come right back.
Right, yeah. So, I was worried about the public yelling at me for not acclimating, but certain situations call for certain moves, and it's not always the same.
Right.
If you had followed the rule book, those fish would probably be dead.
They'd be dead.
So
right.
you did the right thing.
I took them from filthy, dirty, nasty water and that they were dying in, and put them into good water, and they were like,
It makes a big difference for sure.
it sure does.
I want to mention the people that are watching this live on YouTube, as well as the people here that are watching. If you have questions for Big Rich, Brett, or me, I guess, Rob can take your questions right here. He'll give you the microphone. You can ask us questions. Hopefully you can hear us, and we can, or they can answer your questions.
Yeah, let anyone know. If somebody can't be heard, just put it on the messages. We'll get it.
There's so many speakers and so much audio in this building that it interferes with each other, and it's hard for us to.
Now, what I want to hear about is, Brett, you're taking on this whole new endeavor over here.
Yeah,
Whole new business.
Yeah, so you know, I mean, obviously the show still airs all the time, and people are asking me about new episodes and what I've been up to, and you know, I kind of took a hiatus from the aquarium business for a few years, and now we're back better than ever. We have a new product launching, so I'm in the educational business now. So what we've done is we've created these stickers that are vinyl, and the company's called Slap It On Aquarium Collection. And
that's a nice, catchy name.
The stickers they have codes built, QR codes built into the stickers. Right. Then when you actually scan over the stickers, it comes to life with a video of that animal with me doing the VO, the voiceover. Right? So at the end of the day, you're getting information. Imagine people going to stores. Imagine going to stores, right? And then there's a clownfish sticker. And you, as the store owner, have specific information that you like to give your client, okay? What I give my client might be different from what you give your client, might be different from what you give your client. But what you could do is you could send me the information that you want to give your client. I'll give you an example. Clownfish is good from a 20-gallon tank to a 100-gallon tank, does well with anemones. We can take that information and put it into the sticker. So when the client walks into your store, he scrolls over, he QRs the sticker, and all that information, instead of having to spend all the time with them, they could get all the information as you're looking at it. Right. We're also making virtual aquariums out of them, right? So you take these and you put them on your kids' walls, and we're going to have a Fish of the Month Club where you get these stickers, you put them on, and then instead of your kids playing games with the iPads, they can take the iPads, scroll over the stickers, and then they'll come to life.
Wow. Awesome. Well, you know what? I thought about this, and since you're doing that, different fish need different voices.
Yeah.
I'm always available.
There you go. I love it. But we've been working on this for a minute, and we're hoping sometime in early January to get them launched. And, you know, people will be able to join the Fish of the Month Club. It'll be, you know, anywhere from $5.99 to $9.99. And you're going to get every month, you're just going to get a package of stickers, and you'll be able to interchange them, whether it's, you know, your nursery, whether it's your fish room, whether it's your garage, wherever you want to put them.
Right.
You can just stick them onto anything.
Awesome. That's a heck of an idea.
Yeah, education. You know, we're trying to really
open up a whole new.
I've always been about education from the show. You know, having our fish questions, our fish facts.
Right.
Every show, you know, giving somebody a little bit of a fact. So we're just taking that fish fact and putting it into a basically like a virtual sticker.
Okay, great. That's amazing.
Hey, I got real quick, guys. Don down in the front row with his daughter just came up to me, and they just wanted to let you all know that they watch your channel, they love what you guys do, and they really appreciate you guys being here.
Well, we appreciate you being
Absolutely.
here.
And he's I don't know how you say it, Rich, but he's a biker keeper too. So we like him.
Bashir, biker, biker.
I say biker because I think bikes are cool. But
that's right.
I have a personal question for Brett.
Absolutely.
Wait. Let me ask Brett something.
Not personal,
Who said
like
he could talk.
Not weird. Well, I'm the host, so you be quiet. There was an episode of the incredibly popular television show Tanked, of which you were a star, where you were playing a little prank on your brother-in-law.
Oh yeah.
With the hot peppers on the sandwich.
The hot sauce.
Sauce.
The hot
and
sauce.
Drink too.
Drink.
Yeah. Now, come on, man. The show's over.
Yeah.
Did you really do it?
Absolutely. So I want to give you you know, people talk about reality TV, whether it's scripted or the reason why everything works so well with us is because everybody knew what was going on except the person that was getting pranked. So that prank wasn't a new one. It was something that happened in Mexico in 1988. Okay. We did this. We all went to Mexico back in our fun days, and everybody would be drinking tequila, getting hammered. And one of our buddies, we were at Carlos and Charlie's, and we basically sauced the pitcher, and then we sauced his drink. So every time that he was pouring the pitcher, he was filling it up. He's like, man, these ribs are really spicy. Oh my God, it's spicy. And he's like, you know, he keeps drinking the drink. So I kind of remembered that, and I was telling the producers, I'm like, dude, we can get Wade. Let's set him up. And they were like, oh, 100%. And that's kind of where the pranks really started. You know, we started just going back and forth with each other. And
that little banter right there was extra to the show. That
was
awesome.
So much fun. It was fun. You know, I loved making the show, but the one thing that people didn't realize is that try running, a business with 60 plus employees, building aquariums. I used to own 5 donut shops, and then on top of that, we filmed 20 episodes a year for almost 8 years. We shot 156 episodes, and 1-hour episodes that took about 40 to 80 hours to make each episode.
Wow.
So you guys shoot YouTube channels, but that's a lot of actual just footage that you guys are shooting raw. You know, we had to create a story, and by creating a story, it's not all raw, right? It's shoot this, we need to get across reshoot, we didn't get that, so it's basically putting it all together, production. Basis versus raw footage. So it does take a lot more. I know you guys put a lot of time. I mean, I know I've spoken to a lot of YouTubers. They tell me how it really takes up almost all of their time.
Right.
Imagine having that, then having everything else on top of that. So,
but not, I'm sorry,
okay.
Go ahead, Rich.
Go ahead, buddy.
But not only that, you and I were talking in Chicago where I was surprised at how involved you were. You weren't just the guy that showed up, got in front of the camera and said your lines and left. You were part producer, part writer, part all of that.
I wanted to, the funny thing is I never watched the show being edited, okay? Because I would be too critical. But what I did was I was involved in every scene that they were going to come out. If there was something that I felt was detrimental to our company, I wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't, a leak here. Everybody knows that happens in the aquarium industry. Yeah. The bottom line is that when you want to try to do things that are not going to make us look good as a company, that's when I kind of had to put the kibosh on things, right? I was like, nah, we're not going to do that, But I wanted to be involved because I wanted to make a good product, right? And at the end of the day, I knew that the stuff that we did was good, it was fun, but it had to be presented in a right way.
Not only was it fun, it was so entertaining, you know. And I learned a lot, and I'm a big fish keeper for many, many years. I learned things, and I knew what was going on, certain things that they're not really, they did that. Oh, they had to do this about it. I knew. Yeah. But you guys did such a good job presenting it to the public that I was mesmerized. I couldn't wait for the next show,
Yeah, it's sad that it's not here anymore,
It is. It's very sad.
But at the end of the day, you know what? You never know, right? I'm not saying ATM's coming back or, Tank's coming back the way it was, but there might be some sort of a, down the road, something, a spinoff or, I have a couple of ideas that I had thrown around, and I was even thinking about maybe shooting one of them myself, believe it or not. I'm gonna throw it at you now. Tell me what you guys think.
Okay.
So I came up with this concept called My Poor Fish Store. And basically I would go in and help them remodel and,
like bar rescue,
but fish, it would be
motel
fish store rescue.
Awesome.
So we call it My Poor Fish Store. We go in and basically we take the store from, where it was to turning it around. And 0 to hero, exactly. So
I love it.
Yeah, so that was one of my ideas, and I was thinking about working on that. And yeah, think about it. Everybody in the industry that watched Tank, if I came out with My Poor Fish Store, they'd be, what do we got going on? And I would still include, you make a nice aquarium for someone's entryway, or there would still be that, but it would add more of a fish keeping aspect to it, as opposed to what the professional side of the business is. We were the professional side of manufacturing, but not the retail side of the fish business, which is a tremendous business,
Big business, yeah. Let me say this. Any endeavor you do like that, just please let me get your guys coffee or so. I want to be part of it.
Oh, yeah. We've already talked. I called you on your birthday, right?
Oh, my God. That meant so much to me. I was absolutely just
we all talk. Like I said, you guys have inspired me, believe it or not. So, I sit here and I know you guys talk about me being the celebrity, et cetera, but I'm going to tell you something right now. Yes, I was the so-called godfather, but you guys are the ones that are continuing it, right? So you guys got to think about this. I've taken this to a level, and now the rest of the people that have seen it are now continuing with that, right? So you guys have all spawned off with different things, right? You do, everything from salt, fresh, this, that. You're mostly fresh, right? So 100% fresh. So there's so many different aspects that each individual now brings to the table, and YouTube has been able to let the fish people, other than Brett Raymer, be able to show their skills and be able to continue with the passion. Look, the lines out here are just as long as it is for me as it is for you guys, right? At the end of the day, that says something, right? Because it says something to what you're doing and where we brought this hobby, which everyone should be proud of, not just me, not being a superstar. You guys are just as much a superstar as me, and you've inspired me to do a YouTube channel, right? I had one launched. It was called Lifestyles of the Fish and Famous. I put out one 30-second video, right? Then I started realizing, wow, this is doing it yourself. You got to shoot it. You got to edit it. You got to produce it. You got to,
welcome to my world.
You got to do it all. And if you don't personally do it, which me, you know, I'm lucky I can write an email. So I got to hire someone, follow me around, you know, have them in my life all day long. I didn't know if I was ready for that because I had just done that for 10 years, you know, and I'm like, man, these guys have been, and we were 190 countries, you know, people everywhere I went. You know, I was in China one day, right? Crazy story. I'm in Chengdu at the Panda Park in China, right? Chengdu in China. There's a panda park where they actually breed pandas, right?
Okay.
All of a sudden, there's kids singing, practicing a choir, and they turn around and they stop singing and they come running over to me and Wade. They were from Norway. They couldn't believe that their favorite celebrity that they met me in China.
I love
right?
that.
So we brought this as a world, you know, we made this international, but the continuation is you guys. And now I don't do this anymore. So guess what I do? I look up to you guys because I watch what all of you guys are doing. And I'm pretty amazed. And I'm like, you know, these guys are really like taking the torch and continuing with the stuff that I've created.
In Chicago, when I met you, I was so flabbergasted that you watch my videos.
I watch you guys. I follow you guys. You know, I'm not a huge YouTube guy, but I have it on my phone. And when I see you on social media, Facebook, and I see you do your stuff, I'm always like, oh, let me check out a video. Let me see what these guys got up to. So, you know, I'm really proud of the industry as a whole for what they've done. And that's the reason why I, you know, created this educational platform, because I want to continue giving people the education that I gave them, you know, before.
Right.
So, hold on, we're giving a room key away. All right, here we go. Girlfriend needs the room key. But no, seriously, seeing this show and, you know, finding out that it was created by YouTubers, pretty amazing what they've done here. And like I said, I look at it as it's just, and everybody's so young, right? You know, I mean, not us, not us.
Oh, come on now.
But, you know, there's a lot of young ones here, and like, you can see like the passing of you know, I get kids that like, I've been watching your show since I'm 12, and the dude's like 6'3", and I'm like, well, you ain't 12 now. Yeah, I'm like 21. I'm like, wow, man, you've been watching for a while. You know, that in itself is just pretty amazing, and I'm glad that what we've done has created what I see.
Yeah,
there's absolutely no debate. You and your show had a lot to do with why this is as big as it is.
Yeah,
so
and that we
kudos
appreciate,
to
you know.
And I have put the proposition out there this morning that I want to come to you. I want to have you bring me to some of the tanks that y'all did on the show. I'm praying for it. I hope that happens.
All you got to do is stop by Ohio Fish Rescue.
That's true. The Bellagio's there.
Yeah, 2 Bellagios. We have the snow globe tank there, which was also reused as a you said a gumball tank?
Yeah, it was a gumball. It was the snow globe.
And
that thing had many uses.
Yeah, and then we got the Dwight Howard tank there.
Nice.
So,
well, you know, I told you, I'm coming to you in a few weeks. So whether you like it or not.
I can move to Ohio, and we could start a tank museum, and people would just come through, you know.
You know, I actually talked to your sister and the general.
Geez.
I know. She's such a salesperson. But you have that half car, the Willys, I think it is.
We had the half car.
And that was sitting in there when your guy gave me the tour through there, the closed shop.
Right.
And I was like, I want that for my wall. That would fit the rescue, you know. And then she'd come in and she's like, well, what are you willing to pay? I'm like, no, what's the least you take?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the wrong person to talk to is my sister. But no, you know, I mean, like I said, we built. I was in business. We started our business in 1994, and you know, I finished in 2019. So 25 years of being in the aquarium business. It was amazing. It was fun. I was really glad that I was able to create a legacy. You know, that was the important to me. Is I've always, growing up as a kid, I thought I was going to be a famous baseball player or a football player. And then I obviously hurt my knees. I had some problems. That was never going to happen. So I really wanted to figure out another way to become famous.
Well, I'll tell you what,
most people don't know this, but I actually wrote the show myself. I watched Orange County Choppers one day, and I'm like, oh man, if these guys could do it, I could definitely do it, right? I'm like, I could definitely do it. I'm like, these guys are miserable. They yell, they scream, they fight. I go, most people are like married with children. That's the real family, right? When we were growing up, that was the show, right?
Yeah.
So I turned around to my family, and I'm like, man, we should, you know, create this TV show. And they laughed at me. I thought it was like the biggest joke. And then I was like, I knew at that point it was like the right idea. So we created the show. I wrote it. I filmed it. I shopped it. It took me almost 4 years from the time that I had the idea to actually get on television.
Wow.
4 years. So YouTube, you can be on in 5 minutes, right? 4 years of my life basically hustling, pushing, working to finally get to that point. And the thing is, cable television is like YouTube. You know, people, you go onto YouTube, you're not going to become rich day one, right? It's a process that takes time. Same thing with network television. I lost money season 1, made a couple of bucks season 2, started getting paid season 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's when the real money started.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, exactly. That's when the real money started.
And
So,
Brett, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
You know, your first season, is it true? Like you shot all the episodes and kind of like gave the tanks away or on consignment to be able to create the content for the first season?
yeah. So what happened was in the first year, we wanted to make the show happen that we were bending over backwards, losing money just to put out content, right?
Right.
You guys know. I mean,
We all know what that feels like.
When you do it yourself, you fund it yourself, right?
Right.
Unless you got sponsors, or at the end of the day, yes, we had Animal Planet, but they didn't have a big budget. The budget didn't become huge until Walmart, Disney, you know, every big company on the planet started advertising, and that's when the budget went up. Our show cost about $1 million a year to shoot.
Wow.
$1 million an episode, excuse me.
I was about to say,
no.
whoa.
Episode. Episode.
Wow.
So 20 episodes, 20 mil. Think about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I know YouTubers, we get people will like send us free product and stuff like that to show advertising. I've always wondered, when you get those big time celebrities on the show, did they pay for the tanks?
So some did and some didn't, right? So here's how it worked. You get Shaq on the show, someone's going to take care of Shaq, right? Because he's Shaq. But there were celebrities that would call up and be like, oh my God, I just watched Tank. I want to have a, aquarium in my house. I have a $75,000 budget. If we could build that tank to $75,000, we would. If we couldn't, then ATM always got paid. So at the end of the day, there was a budget for aquariums in the shooting budget.
Okay.
So as part of that $1 million episode, there was a budget in there to provide a tank for people. And it didn't necessarily have to be a celebrity. If there was a good cause and they had a smaller budget, we would help fund it to make that happen, make it a reality.
Too personal. How much were the Bellagio tanks for the casino?
I believe, if I remember off the top of my head, about $1.50, $150,000 a piece.
Right,
I think it was about
I think it was
300,000.
the general told me 350,000.
Yeah, it was about 300, 350, could be in that area, but yeah, that was.
They used them for 3 months,
Yeah.
and then put them into a what do you call it? Some sort of company that
Storage.
sold off things, and they stored them for a while, and then they put a picture up of a back of a semi truck with the doors open. All you saw was the end of one tank and the end of one stand, and it was darkness.
Yeah.
And they put them up for like $50,000. And when I called, I did not want to, embarrass them or upset them. But I'm like, look, all I have is $10,000.
Yeah.
And I'm offering for one tank. I'm like, all I have is $10,000. I really need this tank. I'm a rescue. I'm this, that, blah, blah, blah. And they, the guy was a heavy Mexican, right? So this is what made me think it was all shady. He's like, oh, you know what? I haven't gotten no calls. You go ahead and just come on down, but we only take cash. I'm like, I can't PayPal you. I can't,
Right.
credit card, nothing.
Uh-huh.
He goes, no, you have to bring cash. So right away, I'm thinking sketchy. So I go ahead and make the deal. And then he goes, take them. And I'm like, did he just say them?
Them.
Did I get both of them? Okay. So I still don't know if I'm getting both. I schedule the truck to pick them up. I fly to Vegas, me and Tracy. Oh my God, I miss her so much. We got to Vegas and I told her, park the rental car around the corner. We're going to walk over to this place. We'll leave the money in the trunk, because that's how sketchy I thought it was.
Yeah.
So then we get over there and the guy's like such a nice guy. And he pulls his truck up. His guys all empty it out. We shrink wrap it with blankets that he supplies for me to put them into our truck. And then when our truck is loaded, he's like, okay, now I want my money in. And both tanks, all the life support system, everything is there. So, and I'm like, Tracy, go get the car, hon. And I paid $10,000 for both Bellagio tanks with the full. I still have the brand new chillers.
Deal of a life.
Well, that's why I named my show on that the Bellagio Heist.
Nice. I love it.
Because I stole those tanks.
I love it.
And I still have the brand new, they never even used the refrigerator or
The chillers.
chillers. I got both of those brand new.
Nice.
Sitting in my house
Just
right
those
now.
alone might be worth 10 grand.
Well,
Close.
I found them like 3,500 a piece of the cheapest.
Close.
So, you're talking 7 grand right there for them. And I can't find anybody to buy them.
Yeah.
If anybody needs them, I have them cheap.
Well, that's good for me to know. I got a few projects. You never know. We'll see
There
what
you go.
happens,
There you
know,
go.
But that's good to
But
know.
I'll tell you what, we set them tanks up, and we had to cut the stands from 5 foot down to 2 foot to fit it in my
Right.
place. And that was a job in itself. Oh, my God.
Cutting
So-
that 2-inch tubing, huh?
And then, and then putting it back together and welding it, and then getting the tanks up on them by hand. We don't have your guys',
See, people don't realize, it's a lot of work to do stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
God,
But the
was
one
it
thing
work.
that was great about what we did is we've been doing it so long, we had the right tools. That's the one thing in any business. Doesn't
Your
matter
lift
what
carts.
you do.
I have been looking for your lift
Yeah.
carts since.
Yeah, I'll tell you who makes those is that online company. I'll think about it that you
Oh,
order.
yeah, we'll do this after the show.
Yeah, but we'll think about it. But I'll remember for you. Those carts were the lifesavers, bro. Those
Yes.
things, we would take them everywhere, and
Now-
people don't realize those things literally would do
Now,
all the
mind
work.
you, me and my son Josh, we did the Bellagio tank by this. There was only the two of us. We jack up one side, put it on a 4x4. Jack up the other side, 2 4x4s. Jack up this side, 3 4x4s. Jack
That's
up
the
this
old.
side.
That's the old school.
Oh my God, all the way up until
Yep.
2 foot, and then we're on one side pushing it on. Oh my, it was rough. I'm telling you. At
Yeah.
one point, we had 20 people there, and then was finally able to push it off of our blocking and putting it on the stand. But I'm telling you, them are some showpieces at my place right now.
For sure. I can't wait to come see them. For sure.
Yes.
I definitely want to check it out.
Well, I remember the words of a great man once told me, "Hey, Brett, when you're going to come and we're going to talk about that Dwight Howard take," and you go, "Definitely before Chicago or Dallas Aquashella." And my son's like, "And you called Brett? Have you asked him? It's almost Aquashella." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not going to bother him."
You're never a ball. You call me anytime, my man. For you guys, I'm always available. But like I said, this show is, once again, let's tell everybody again, this show is absolutely amazing. I mean, they got amazing costumes coming around here, all kinds of great, companies, a lot of amazing stores have a lot of that product here.
Oh yeah, if
It's
haven't
crazy how
seen-
big the frag business has gotten in the last
Oh,
10 years.
yes.
I mean, it's spawned off so many businesses and hobbies for people. It's really incredible to see some of the work that people have down here.
Do you remember years ago the saltwater tank and the corals were about the corals? Now it's you walk in and you see everything neon.
Yeah.
It's took a whole new trip, and it's like really psychic looking. Like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, everything goes in cycles. You know how things go. It was like back in the old days, there used to be planted aquariums, when we were kids, and then they went away, and now they're coming back strong again. Same thing with, the amphibians, the little the geckos and all. I see a lot of these reptile. That's not really what my thing, but I see a lot of the reptile businesses starting to grow as well.
Right.
I think that's the one thing that the pandemic did. It kept everybody inside and needed to give them something to do. So, the hobbyists became even more so of a hobbyist, due to the pandemic. So,
John, how you doing up there?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
enjoying myself.
I mean,
This is fun.
I felt like I had to jump in because I just see John just.
Hey,
He's looking
my
left,
neck,
he's looking right.
he's like, hit.
my neck is starting to hurt a little bit, but I'm enjoying myself just sitting here listening to these fellas.
In doing this whole pandemic, that's when we started our YouTube, and that's how we do different. Like, a lot of these other people, you said earlier, they complain about how long and project. What we do at our place is just we video and show you what we're doing daily.
Yeah.
And people call it like a reality soap opera.
Yeah.
Because there's no frills, there's no shindigs, there's no nothing. It's all real, raw what we're doing.
Oh, and it's a soap
people
opera over
appreciate
there, right? Right, Big Rich? It's an
Not
absolute
well,
soap opera.
It's not like soap opera, like there's all this drama. There's no drama, but you can follow along. And here's the biggest comment I get. I watch you guys, and I feel bad for being lazy about taking care of my 255-gallon tanks because they see us doing all the work,
Yeah, you do a lot of
and nonstop,
Actually,
So,
I only live about an hour away.
I
from
know.
Big
Why
Rich.
haven't you been to my place
I
more?
have. I came
I-
one time.
one
You weren't
time.
there.
One
You
time.
weren't there.
It always works out that way. The one time you want something, or it's never there. Going to a restaurant, be like, yeah, let me have the, the chicken parm.
Oh, we
I'm
don't
sorry,
serve
we're
that.
out of chicken parm right now. It's always like that. But no, but seriously, I mean, like I said, getting back to the YouTube thing is, you guys have inspired me. I've been thinking about, since the last show, starting something, right? I told you, I put out a 30-second video once, and I got like 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers from one video. And then I realized, you got to start making more videos if you want more subscribers, right?
And you have to be on,
constantly. It's consistency. The word is
it's a job.
Is the word.
It's a job.
It's a job.
It's not a hobby.
So I have, like I said, I have this new project launching, and I actually have a couple of projects launching. One of them is, and I'll let you guys know, if you guys come to Vegas, which I'm sure we're going to get you out there, I'm opening a Brooklyn-style Italian pizzeria deli.
Awesome.
Yes, please.
And Vegas doesn't really have many of those. So I have 2 Brooklyn chefs that are actually going to be working and bringing the New York style recipes to Vegas. So we're going to actually be doing some filming about getting that going. And then we're going to actually move into the aquatics world and really start doing some things. Like I said, we're going to have you come out to Vegas. We'll look at some of the aquariums that we built and, try to really give people some more education with the stuff that I'm doing.
Your old building. Love it. Is it still full of your old stuff?
It's gone.
It's gone now?
Yeah, they broke it all down, put it into trailers, and I don't really know where the trailers are at this point. Like I said,
really?
I've lost touch with my family in regards to, I left on not the greatest of notes. It's unfortunate, but sometimes in life, you need to do what you have to do what's best for yourself, not what's best for everybody else. And at some point, I felt like I was doing what was best for everybody else and not what's best for Brett Raymer. So now I'm focusing on me, my stuff, my family, and that's the direction that I'm going in now.
Right on.
Well, if there's anything you guys would ever like to donate, I know the perfect company.
If I was back in the Wheels of Steel and I was able to, you'd have a lot of my stuff. But like I said, once again, unfortunately, I left with a clean slate. I just came in one day and I just couldn't do it.
Right.
And sometimes it's not always about money. People think that money makes you happy.
Mental health is happiness.
Mental health is way more helpful in life than having money.
These people in these abusive relationships and girlfriends with guys and this and that, they don't realize because they're trying.
You could be in an abusive relationship. It doesn't have to be with somebody that you love. It could be It could be a work relationship. It could be a business relationship. It could be anything. And
if
you're
not happy, you should move on.
Sometimes when you do something for so long, you don't realize what happiness is until you're really so miserable that you get rid of that misery and you like, wow, what was I thinking for, So the one thing I'm really proud of myself for is being able to walk. I was able to walk away from the aquarium industry for not happily, right? Well, for 3 years. That 3 years is what got me back into the industry, taking that break to lead me to where we're going next.
I want you to know this. At first, all I heard about was Brett this, Brett that. And I was lightweight mad at you that the show ended,
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I got to know you and see how hard the effort you put forth and you try so hard that, there obviously had to have been other factors than what I heard,
Yeah. I mean, look, you don't, that's one of the reasons why, and, you can't believe everything you hear, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, I've had a lot of people meet me here, even at the last show, that were like, man, you're so much different than what we thought. We read all the stuff on the internet,
right.
Kind of like what you were talking about. But the truth is one, my family, 2, myself, mental health, 3, everything else. That's how it works, right? Family first.
Well, if there was any of that, just working with your family sometimes is enough to drive everybody crazy.
And when I say family, I mean your sons, your daughters, your wife, your extra family. That's a little bit. That's okay to be away from that. But
and then your show family.
Exactly. So, it was always for me. It was always about putting everyone else in the family first. I always put Brett on the back burner. I created this show for my family. Yes, it was for me, but I wanted this to be the springboard for us.
Right.
And then I'm going to be honest with you, the springboard for us is what was the downfall.
Yeah, but you had a heck of a ride.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen, we wouldn't trade it for the world, but, people want to know why it ended. It ended because it was time. It was time. Everything comes to an end.
People grow.
Everything comes to an end. And then, the experience, the stuff that I did and the experiences and the people that I met and even up to being here today, I wouldn't trade that in for anything. I wouldn't trade that in for anything.
Howard trick?
Yeah, I wouldn't trade that in for anything. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, I miss those days, but we're going to get back. Like I said, bringing here gives me the fever, seeing all the people, getting the energy back, people telling me, what the show did for them. That's super important to me because that's what I set out to do. And as long as it's still happening, it keeps me going, man. It really does.
Awesome. All right. Well, how about we give Daisy May here a chance to talk?
Yeah, I don't have anything to talk about. When Rob asked me if I would fill in for Jason on this, I was like, why? It's going to be those two talking the whole time. What do you need me for? But no, I'm enjoying myself. I mean, I'm a big fan of both of you guys. So,
and what's your favorite show you watch on the internet?
KGTropicals.
Better say,
I mean,
Ohio Fish Rescue.
I mean, listen, I work around fish all day long. I make content about fish all day long. My business is fish. So when I'm looking for content to watch, it's not about fish.
It's not fish.
Nope.
I get it.
I mean,
so you're telling us, and listen up, guys, you don't watch Ohio Fish Rescue?
Of course I do. I mean, at least while I'm sitting next to you.
Yourself.
I'm sitting next to you. Of course I'm going to say that. But no, I mean, I do.
Oh, no, I meant the truth.
I think I've seen every single episode of Tank.
Me too.
I think I've seen the episode of the Copycat Show too.
Yeah. And that's flattery by its finest. I'm totally fine with that.
I mean, you were the original. We all
that
know that.
Copycat Show was actually pretty good, but it wasn't as good as Tanked. You know, it didn't have that where you
personality.
You could not wait to see the next show.
We're
just
talking about
okay.
Pond Masters, right?
No,
No.
Don't bring up that.
Oh, sorry.
This was called
Tank
Tank
Kings.
Kings. Fish Tank Kings.
Fish Tank Kings. That's it. Yeah.
Now, are they?
They're not in business anymore.
Did they do really?
Yeah. They went out of business.
Did they do the Miami Marlins, or
They
was
did.
that y'all?
No, they did.
They
But
were
y'all
much
did the
too
big
serious.
We
giant-
did the Giants, San Francisco Giants.
Yeah,
And you
Their
did the
show
big,
was
huge
much
church,
too serious.
The
right?
church here in Dallas, right? IBOC, Inspiring Body of Christ. We did
That was before the show, though, wasn't it?
We did that for the well, we did it before the show, but then we added it into the show when we put the big cross in and
Right.
showed that. So yeah, that was a fun build. But that's right here in this town, so people can
What's
go see
something
it.
like that cost?
That one was about $4.5 million.
Woo!
Oh, I
Hey,
make that per episode.
You know the church got more money than God.
Well,
Right?
I mean, yeah, that's insane. I can't imagine $4.5 million. For
Yeah,
an aquarium.
$4.5 million. We did one in Scotland for $1.2 million. We've done $1 million tanks in Florida. We've done all kinds of stuff. One of our other businesses was aquarium building. A lot of the panels and stuff that you guys see in public aquariums, that was us too. Most people didn't realize that was the reason why we couldn't shoot that for the show was because of PETA.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So fish is cool, but start making things for enclosures for dolphins, for lions, for rhinos,
yeah.
and then they start breathing down your neck.
They'll come out the door.
We had PETA. There was an article written about our show. We first came out, and people laughed at it because it was pretty funny. They've been trying to talk about the fish tank guys that are bringing these fish in. That was our only stint with them for a minute. And then, like I said, we didn't want to bring up any more controversy than there already was. So we kept the aquarium building out of public aquarium side of it pretty much out of it.
Awesome.
It's unfortunate that you have a good thing and people have to mess it up.
Yeah,
no matter what you do.
But it's all good. You know what? Like I said, I 20, 30, almost 94 is when I really started ATM. And I ended 25 years later. I have no regrets for anything that I do. I come to stuff like this, and it makes me feel good.
It's fun, yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, your artificial corals, which are truly amazing looking. They're painted so well. They're made out of what's that?
So polystyrene, they look like a
collagen.
Collagen.
Yeah, and that's an artistry thing itself. Now, when they get done, yes, they don't look real, but I'm telling you, the ones in the Bellagio tank are gorgeous.
Well, people don't realize, those corals are molded off of real corals. Those are actual real coral molds. So, we've taken staghorns and plate corals and basically put them actual, skeletons that were alive once, put them into these molds, make them molded, and then create the four of them, and the paint would actually be colored added into the mix. So those weren't actually
even if
painted.
Somebody cut a
It's
branch
all the way
off,
through
it's
and
still the
through.
same color.
Same color through and through.
Okay, now here's my question. Let me finish that. Did you ever run into where people are like, oh, fake corals, boo, blah, blah, blah?
Sure.
Oh my God, I get so much of that. People want me to rip them corals out of the Bellagio tanks. I'm like, there's no way to do that. That top was put on after the tank was lowered down, and there's no way to take them out without cutting them up and destroying them.
Yeah.
Or I can try and glue them back together, but I'll never paint them like the way they're painted. I'm not an artist in any way.
That's part of the history of those tanks.
That's the history of that. That's exactly what I was getting at.
Yeah.
If anyone comes to my place, I can be like, these are the Bellagio tanks. and look at the corals. There's your photo op, coral right there in the middle. Watch the show and you'll see this is the same tank. I don't have to prove to anybody this came off of a TV show or nothing.
Nope.
So I left them in there and I put cichlids in there. Oh my God, the coloration is just beautiful. And now people are like, okay, we were sorry.
Yeah, I mean, look, not every look is for everyone.
Right.
That's why they make 50 million different cars, right? Because
Right.
everybody doesn't want the same car. So it's kind of like the aquariums. We would make them. Those are originals. Those are like, we
Remember
made
artistry.
everything that we made was custom. So there wasn't one alike. So
Right.
think about the each insert is different. They might look similar, but I guarantee you they're different. So those are one of a kind.
I want to be the tank.
Everything that we did
The
was
tank,
one of a kind. So, you're creating something that number one has history, number two that's going to be a legacy, and number three that's something pretty cool.
I want to be the Tanked Museum.
There you go.
I
You
do.
like that, right?
I like
like
that.
that. I know.
That was a heck of an idea.
That was an idea I wanted to do in Vegas. We used to get 1,000 people a week would come in for tours,
Right.
and I wanted to set up this little mini aquarium museum where we would recreate some of the ones from the show,
big
build
ones.
them, and then people would
Here's
come
that,
in
yeah.
and be able to walk through, and you charge $30-$40 a head, and they go check it out. But it never happened. But you never know. We might have a little backup plan.
Well, you talk to your dad, your grandpa, whoever. Don't talk to your sister.
Don't talk to my
I like your sister, but
Only
she's
way I-
too money.
Only way I can talk to my grandpa is by looking up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
no.
brother.
That's
I'm
all right.
sorry.
My dad's 77.
Your dad,
so
the general.
the
Yes,
general's
that's what
my
I was
dad.
talking about.
Yeah.
Talk to your dad and see if they got things laying around they can sell cheap, and I can come up with money and buy. Anything to do with tanks, I
There you
will
go.
try come up with.
We'll see if we get it donated. You never know.
Well,
Speaking
there too.
of- speaking
buy
of
some,
cheap-
you donate some.
I heard a rumor that you were riding around the streets of Dallas yesterday in a ghost.
Oh,
The question
rumors,
is, can I get a ride?
Yeah. So one of my buddies here is a driver in town. He has a Rolls Royce Ghost, and he picked us up yesterday and dropped us off.
Oh,
Yeah, I might have him come show for us around tonight, so we'll
Oh,
see what happens.
nice. Let me know.
Yeah, I don't normally roll that way, but he's a
Hey,
buddy.
hey, Brett,
you know.
we're hanging together tonight, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
whatever it takes to get in
And
the
don't
ghost.
forget the little guy over here either, right?
Rob, do we have any questions before we wrap things up? Or
We definitely have some fans jumping in there and just saying how much they love the channel. One
Aw,
that sticks
awesome.
out would be Fish Kid 61 said, Brett, I watched you when I was little on Tanked. May have had something to do with why I started. Super cool to see you again. Also, hello, John. Really enjoy your content. Unfortunately, Big Rich, he had nothing to say about you.
Oh,
But
Oh, my
hey,
God.
but there's more.
John,
there's
can I
other
take
ones.
your seat now? Because I feel like you know.
The bearded fish keeper said, "What's up, Big Rich?" And then he said, "Hey, Brett and KG."
Well,
Redemption.
in their
redemption.
defense, no to redemption. That's one of my moderators.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
That's Ryan from Cleveland.
Oh, that's awesome.
Rich is texting people here saying, "Please, just get in and say something about Big Rich." Would you?
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Bearded fish keeper, y'all.
Oh, here's another one. B. Reisenberg said, "We love Ohio Fish Rescue. Big Rich, I hope you are having a blast. You deserve it."
Aw, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
That was Big
That's
Rich. That was
awesome.
Big Rich's son.
No,
Rich
no,
walked
what
into
was
this
his name?
place.
He needs his name said again.
B. Reisenberg.
B.
Reisenberg.
Risenberg.
Thank you, buddy. Thank
All
you.
right, buddy.
Last
that's the way.
night, it was like 10 o'clock. Rich comes in here, and it was like a bomb went off. It was like, now the party's starting. Rich is
People
here.
ran up from everywhere.
It was madness.
I heard you. I left about 9:45.
Oh,
I
I just missed you.
I heard you were coming.
Oh, Brad. Brad.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, my
man.
goodness.
Well, look at this place. It's really amazing. Once again, these guys, they've done an amazing job with
Can you
Aquashella.
believe all these people?
I
that are
can't
here?
believe it, man.
It's nuts.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully people come in costume tomorrow. I didn't
Are
see
y'all dressing up?
my girl is.
I'd ask you.
I might have a little something's going on, but we'll have to sell people surprise.
Are you wearing the Little Mermaid costume? Is that what
No,
you're
I am dressing up, though.
Okay, I like that.
I'm going as the fat guy from Ohio Fish Rescue.
There you go.
thought he was going to say the fat guy from KGTropicals. That's what.
Hey, maybe he'll shave his
I
head.
do not want to
You go
shave
as
my
John.
hair.
Yeah, you might go as John. You might go as me. You might go as Brett. Like you can go as like
Half the-
everybody.
I mean, half the people here are bald. Look at
Oh
all
my
this
God.
baldness that we
That's
see
it.
around
See,
here.
everybody-
look at this.
Everybody
now,
in the
they're,
audience,
now they're taking
all
hats off
bald.
and showing off now. People are showing off the bald head. I like
How
it,
many people do I have to stand behind and throw my hair over their head to get a picture?
with that hair, probably like 9 of us.
I think that is a moment I will never forget. That was a special,
Dude, I wish
special
we had the
moment.
picture here. We could show. You got it on your phone, don't you?
You know what? Let me
Bring it up to the camera and show it
No,
to the
here's
people.
what I can do. If you guys keep talking, I'll pull it up and I can add it to the live stream.
You can add it to the
Awesome.
live
Thank you.
stream.
Thank you.
All right,
We're
that's
going
what
to do
we like
that.
to
Make
hear.
it the thumbnail.
This will be this guy right here. I stood behind him and put my hair over him, and he looks like an 80s Russell. He looks badass.
Yep, that was fun. I liked that. I wish I could find a wig like your hair. I would do it all day long. The 4-foot mullet, I love it. It's a beautiful
I don't know if
thing.
you'll ever find one smelling as good.
You know, I had a mullet when I was 23. I did. I had hair actually too at one time. Yeah, I did. I swear it was long, flowing locks, and I used to put it in a ponytail. That ended real quick.
Why?
Yeah, real quick.
Why?
It just did it. Once the front was gone, that was it.
Oh,
and then,
gotcha.
you know, I tried to hold on for a little bit, and then I'm looking in the mirror, and like my friend's like, just shave it already, dude. And then finally I was like, all right, you know what? And then once I did it, I'll never go back. That's the funny thing is,
Let me show you something.
do you keep it like shined up all the time though? Do you keep it like shine, or do you have let it? Or you're
I
lazy?
shave like every 3 days.
See, I'm lazy. I do it like once a week if I'm lucky.
Let me
If
show
I'm
you
going
guys
to be on
something.
camera, I make sure I shave before.
I'm
the day
57 years old. 56. No, September I'll be 57. Okay. Look at my hairline. You know, I've got
so
an inch
jealous.
above my eyebrows.
You got like a one head, not a forehead. You got,
before. That is literally
that's
the
the littlest
opposite
forehead
of
I've ever
what Brett
seen.
and I have.
Exactly. We got a 5
I
head.
think we're about the same.
We got a 5 head. Rich got a 1 head.
Mine started going back when I was like 23, and I was just like, "What are you gonna do?"
No, I would.
Hey,
grow.
so we officially
It would
have the
just grow.
picture up on the screen right now.
Oh, here it
nice.
is.
Nice.
that's-
Oh yeah.
That's John in his element. If you guys can
Where'd
see
it
that.
go?
There it is.
That's John when he can actually pick up girls.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't make it bigger for some
It's
reason.
almost very Jesse the Body looking like right there.
Yeah.
Jesse the Body.
That's fine.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I'll
That's
be
an
the governor
amazing
of Minnesota.
That's awesome. But this is like I said, this has been a great time, guys. I love chatting with you guys. You know, thanks for having me again.
Oh, we always have fun when you're here.
Absolutely,
Always.
man. This is amazing.
well, John, since you didn't get to talk as much, why don't you go ahead and close us down?
Oh,
Does anybody
well-
else have anything else to say? Before
Oh,
we
yeah.
close
No,
down?
I'm kidding. Go ahead, John.
Well, listen, gentlemen, this was a treat. I mean, I'm usually the one accused of doing too much talking. It was a pleasure to just sit between you two fine gentlemen and just listen. That was fun. I enjoyed
Well, yeah,
myself.
no, it was
Awesome.
definitely
Awesome.
fun. We also want to make sure everybody out there, we check out my boy KGTropicals,
Well,
and my
Yes.
boy Big Rich at Ohio Fish Rescue. Make sure you check those guys out, and you'll be seeing me soon if you want to check out
Definitely
what we got
follow
going
Brett
on.
Raymer's newest adventures.
Slapiton.com. Check out the new slapit-on.com.
That's a heck of a name for
That
the
does got a
stickers.
good ring.
Yeah, you slap it on, right?
I love
like
it.
it.
Slap it on the wall, and you get yourself a nice virtual aquarium. So,
Yes,
Love
that's
it.
awesome.
but once
Awesome.
again, fellas,
Wait,
thank you
wait.
for having
One
me.
more
Appreciate
question.
it. One more.
Do I get to do one of the voiceovers?
You know what? We're going to work on it. Absolutely. Sounds
All
good
right,
to me.
all right.
Maybe we get a couple of you guys in there.
I can give you that
Yeah.
bedroom voice.
You can be the catfish voice, the
All right.
big catfish voice. I like it.
All right,
Very
guys.
cool.
This has been fun. I'm glad you all made it. I thank you all for showing up here. It was awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's awesome, you guys. And
See you next
again,
time.
this guy's name is KGTropicals, in case no one caught it before.
I'm Brett Raymer.
Thank
and
you
I'm
for the
Big Rich from
for
Ohio
the
Fish
promo.
Rescue.